Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badul Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. IGP is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we already served 3 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional IGP is a training faculty for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, national, and international to student, job seeker, job holder, and also for learners to respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, our quiz competition mentoring and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to serve more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and one knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, combat sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn and to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainers, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. To ensure excellent and in-depth instruction, we arrange with qualified trainer, speaker, and instructor. We extended free services to more than 3 million knowledge seekers in last 3 years. We have affiliation with universities and organizations in 70 different countries. But no signing with many colleges and organizations have been accomplished. We are working to create a legendary generation of future scholars and citizens who will be accountable. We are constantly prepared to assist all knowledge seekers with valuable service. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and mission. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your confidence support, we already completed 1400 12 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1412 webinars successfully. At present, we are going to start our 1413 webinar, which name is Signification of Climatology in the Global Perspective. And today, our speaker name, name is Ismat Mustafa Khan. She is from Pakistan. Before I hand over the speech to our speaker, ma'am, wants to share a very little bit about her teaching lower SEC and SSC level OPF Girls College, Rawalpindi gold medalist, master's level. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. How's everyone and how are you?
I am fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Alhamdulillah, everything is going on well. Alhamdulillah. And I always feel good to be a part of IGP. For the last 2, 3 years, I have been into IGP. And first, I joined it as just a global member. And today, I am serving it as a speaker, as a resource speaker. And I feel too good to be a part of IGP. Uh, Let me start my presentation and welcome to all the audience who are attending today's session. And again, it's an honor to be a part of Institute of Global Professionals. This is, I think, the fourth or fifth time I've been a part of this as a speaker, and enjoying lifetime membership is also an honor. Today, another topic that I have selected from the geography subject is significance of climatology in the global perspective. Now, let me first introduce you what do we mean by climatology. Now, why I have opted for this topic is that climate change in the world is becoming obvious day by day, and it is becoming acute and extreme day by day. So, to include climatology in the curriculum of students at various different levels, it becomes quite necessary. Therefore, I have selected this topic for today's presentation and for today's webinar so that maximum people can become aware of the importance of studying climate studies, why they should be included, why they should be a part of the curriculum is the motive behind the selection of this topic. Let me start my presentation. First of all the listeners, all the readers, all the people around who are today a part of the webinar, they should know what is climatology. So, as simple as is this, that the study of Earth's climate and the factors that affect climate is actually what is climatology. Now, the factors that affect climate, we are going to study those later. But let me tell you that climate as a separate subject has been a part of geography for so long. And many people, they go to study climatology at a higher level, those who have to become weather forecasters or who have to be a part of satellite imaging or the modern system of GIS, they have to study climatology as a separate discipline. Now, what climate itself is? Climate is often confused with weather. Weather is actually a short change of atmosphere. Atmosphere, that is the gases which are around the earth, they make up the atmosphere. Any small change or a big change that takes place within the atmosphere just for a few days, that is weather. But when we analyze the long term weather changes and the patterns of that area in detail for almost 25 to 30 years, then the study of those climate patterns, they make up the climate of that area. Let's say the South Asian region, it receives monsoon rains in every July, August. So we are talking naturally about the climate of that region. But nowadays, the climate of the whole globe, it is undergoing different changes, which are now becoming acute and extreme day by day. So we must first of all know the different factors that affect climate. They include temperature, that is the rise and fall of the degree of hotness of coldness of air, precipitation, that can be in the form of snow, hail, rain, frost, sleet, or wind also. So these are the three main factors which affect climate as well as weather. The long term study of weather is climate. The major branches of geography that include societal geography, that include mathematical geography, statistical geography, and different other branches of human and physical geography which exist in the world today. And different researches are continuously in process regarding different branches of geography. One main branch of physical geography is climatology. So you cannot neglect climatology because it is need of the hour to make our children as well as our elders aware of the climate change, because not only studying these things are important, but how to cope up with the existing climatic changes is rather much more important. So, climatology, according to many historians, has no special history, as farmers, voyagers, merchants have always been aware of their task setting, keeping in view their relevant weather and climate patterns. So, there isn't any proper history of how climatology evolved. Since the ancient times, the farmers, the voyagers, they had to look for the weather changes, for the weather patterns, and for the climate patterns, and they had to proceed accordingly in their specific areas. The earliest studies of climate can be, however, traced back to the ancient Greeks in the 6th century. It developed as a proper science after the Renaissance of the Middle Ages and the Industrial Revolution, when there was a rebirth of learning and knowledge, and there was an explosion of knowledge and learning with better developed maps and shipping and voyaging. It was at that time when climatology was given more importance than ever before. And the second wave of the development of climatology appeared after World War II in the 20th century. After the Japanese cities, they were hit by the atomic bomb by America in 1945. It was right after that when, because of pollution, there were dangers of climatic change in that particular region, rather in other areas as well. The climatic studies, they got advancement after that. So we can say that it was basically the industrial revolution and the use of atomic power that gave rise to the development and advancement in the studies of climate. The factors, as already have been discussed, there were three other main factors that I did not discuss earlier. They include distance from the sea, that is location. Altitude simply means height. Obviously, as you move higher, the temperatures they drop and they have a direct impact on climate and accordingly on the lifestyle of people. Proximity to the equator, obviously, the sun rays they strike directly to the equator, which I'm going to discuss later in detail, and they strike slantingly to the poles. And as we move towards the pole, and as the people and the locations they move from equator towards the pole, there has been change seen in the climate pattern. So we basically divide the earth, the whole globe, which is the model of the earth, into basic climatic regions, and those climatic regions, three climatic regions are: the one that rise closer to the equator, that is the tropical region. This is the tropical region that lies between 30° north, which is the Tropic of Cancer, or exactly this is 23.5° north, and 23.5 degrees south, which is the Tropic of Capricorn. So the areas which touch directly to the equator and fall in between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, they make up the tropical areas. And the tropical climatic zone, which is generally denoted by a higher temperature and a higher degree of rainfall, particularly in the Amazon and Congo basin. So we believe that this is the hottest belt of the globe. Then comes the areas which touch the North Pole and the South Pole, which make up the polar climatic region and are marked with a cold wave of climate. And the green color is showing the areas which lie in between the very hot and in between the very cold climate, and they make up the temperate zone. This strip of latitude, which is 60° north, and it lies between 60° north as well as 60° south, between 30° north and 60° north, and between 30° south and 60° south. This green color is showing on the globe the location of temperate zone where there is moderate type of climate that exists. So broadly speaking, we have three climatic zones. The hottest zone is the tropical zone. The coldest one is the polar zone, and the in between, the intermediate one is the temperate zone. Then let's come towards this. We just showed you the slide in which there was the globe showing you the basic climatic regions. Now, if you come towards the areas that fall into these different categories, then we can see that this part of South America and North America, the major part of Africa, some part of India, Asia, the lowest part of Asia, the Middle Eastern countries, and the upper part of Oceania. These are the areas which are included in tropical zone. The areas, the frigid zones are the polar zones, Greenland, Canada, upper part of Russia and Antarctica. The pink color is showing the polar frozen zones. Whereas this yellow color, the yellow mustard shade, this slightly ochre shade is showing the presence of temperate climatic zone areas, which include the American, some of the parts of America, American belt, and the entire, almost the entire Europe, especially the eastern and western and central part of Europe, and the central part of Asia as well. So these are the temperate zones, whereas the pink color is showing the extremely cold zones. Everybody must have the idea, this basic concept of climatology, so that we can know that which areas are being mostly targeted by the climate change. Now, everybody knows that our lifestyles are being affected by a number of different phenomena taking place around us. The climatic changes that are taking place around us, they have an immediate effect on our clothing, on our agriculture, on our housing, rather on all the activities which are taking place around us, within us, and which are taking place in the locations around us. They are all dependent upon climate. And you will be surprised to know that there used to be a geographer whose name was E.C. Sample, and she used to say that to some extent, even religion is also being affected by climate. The people who are living in extremely colder zones, they believe that paradise would be something hot, a hot area, and an enjoyable place where they could get relief from the cold climate. Whereas the people who are living in hotter areas, they believe that paradise will be something having very cool breeze. So I'm just giving you an example that none of the areas in our lives is like which has not been affected directly or indirectly by climate. Now, climate change, the human activities, this is the basic question. Climate change, because of which I am conducting today's webinar, is that we should at least know that we are saying that extreme climatic changes are taking place. Winters are intenser than ever before. Winters are longer than ever before. Even the heat waves, the heat spells, they are appearing differently in the last few years. So what is it is that we should know that which human activities they lead to climate change. The unplanned deforestation, I'm sorry, the unplanned deforestation. We have to cut down the trees. It is need of the hour to use the wood because the forests are the universal raw material. But at the same time, forests are the lungs of nature. So deforestation, which is taking place in a very unplanned way, is one factor that is leading to climate change because the lungs of nature, the forests are being affected by continuous deforestation, by unchannelized deforestation. There is rapid growth of industries. Obviously, this is an era of technological drive. Industries have to show speedily advancement and development. So this can also be one reason for pollution and climate change. Quick advancement of transport, you cannot stop the movement of vehicles on roads, on rails, in air, in water. So because of the quick advancements in transport and communication, again climate is being affected. There is invention of nuclear energy that took place almost in 1945 when America showed its full power on the Japanese cities. And that's why I have just mentioned it earlier that the climate studies they developed right after the use of nuclear energy in the Second World War. After the Second World War, the unchannelized urbanization, the growth of cities, Nobody is restricting the growth of cities in most of the countries, especially in the developing and underdeveloped countries. It is totally unchannelized. However, some of the countries who have seen the impact of urbanization, like Singapore, they have their own different plans, but such countries are a very few in list. The population explosion, one big cause. Population is totally uncontrolled in a number of countries. Therefore, these are some of the factors that affect directly or indirectly the climate change. The climate change, how it can impact us. The immediate effect of climate change is the overall rise in the global temperatures, which is known as global warming, or in other words, when the amount of carbon dioxide, the concentration of carbon dioxide, it increases than the usual limit in the lower layers of atmosphere, which is known as the troposphere, then there is an overall impact of heating, which is known as greenhouse effect. And the greenhouse effect, it can lead to two different extremes. Firstly, if there is rise in temperature, the glaciers, the ice caps, they are going to melt. They are going to raise the sea level, which in return will increase the uh, expectancy of floods. Whereas the heat waves or the longer spells of heat may lead to the scarcity, shortness of rain, and that can lead to drought and finally desertification. The already existing areas would become barren, uncultivable, unproductive, and infertile. So, the two extremes of weather and environment, floods and droughts at the same time, which are two opposites, they are being expected to be the result of global warming greenhouse effect, which is obviously the greatest threat to the climate today on Earth. Global warming is simply the increase in the temperature of the earth due to the increase in greenhouse gases. And what are the greenhouse gases? We all know carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, CFCs, which are actually the result of pollution taking place on the surface of the earth and which are leading to greenhouse effect. These are all the greenhouse gases, the burning of wood on the surface of earth, the use of too much vehicles, automobiles, the use of harmful gases, which the use I'm sorry, the not the use, actually the running of the industrial, different industries and industrial chambers, they release these greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and when they combine with the already existing oxygen in the air, they lead to different oxides, and when these oxides they combine with the rainwater, they may also lead to the formation of acid rain, which can be harmful in many other respects. The greenhouse effect, as I have already told you, that most of the heat that is absorbed by greenhouse gases is then released in all different directions. And this is alarming, quite alarming for the earth. Then in this picture, you can so see the different effects or the different causes or different pictures which are related to climate change. These can be the possible consequences or results. You can see forest fire. You can see the melting of glaciers, which can also be a threat to the wildlife which is existing in the glaciated regions. Seals, polar bears, why they are becoming extinct? They have been becoming extinct over the last few years. Why? Because of their natural habitat being lost due to climate change. Then there can be different other, you can see hurricanes can be expected, and cracks may appear in the desert areas, means in the land when it becomes cracked means either the surface will become badland, or it will get dissected, or there it will may lead to desertification, that is the barrenness of land can be a possible result. Then coming towards the main thing, why we need to study geography is that we should need to know how to reduce this climate change with so many harmful effects. So it can be, there can be different measures which we can do. We can stop deforestation. One measure is riding a bike to work. Instead of using a bike or instead of using a car, we can use a bicycle or a bike instead of using a car, which can cause lesser pollution as compared to large size vehicles. Recycling, the use of 3 R's, reusing and recycling, are on top of the list. Can also be, and reusing the materials obviously on the is one solution to the climate change. Conserving water, again, a very alarming issue. The scarcity of water, which is expected to be very acute in the coming years. We need to conserve the already existing resources for the coming generations. Switching over to renewable energy resources, the energy resources which will be causing lesser pollution, though they will be requiring technology, still we need to switch over to those resources. Planting trees, reducing deforestation, different campaigns can be launched in this regard, and implementation for a proper filter system, air filter system, by the use of scrubbers in the factories, chimneys. In the chimneys of the factories, we can place scrubbers. We can use catalytic converters in cars to convert the harmful smoke into water droplets. So different systems of filtration, even for the cleanliness of water, it can also be done. Then, the important thing is that why do we need to study and teach climatology? See, awareness to climate, environment, your surroundings. Climate is mostly the long patterns of weather. Environment, your surroundings that are impacting you. Resources, what are the things which you can use and which you can save for your coming generation as well, and their conservation. I have already told you that we have to keep into account about the people, those who have to come next after to us. Nothing lasts forever except for Allah. So, what is this? Even change is continuously changing. So, we have to keep the things reserved, conserved for the coming generations. Reducing the risk of climate change, global handling of global issues. Obviously, climate change is a global issue. So, it should be handled globally. Different organizations, they should work hand in hand with, with each other, because one, for example, ozone depletion is not directly taking place in the countries, in the skies over the countries where pollution is at the maximum. Rather, a hole has appeared over Antarctica. What does it show? That we need to develop a global approach for sorting out the problem of uh, climate change, encouraging research and experimentation. Obviously, research is through different means. New generation should also be encouraged to do research, and they should also know the problems which they can face, or even the people who have to come after them can face. And experimentation, like in some countries, artificial rain by cloud seeding is being experimented. Why? Because they have to meet the water shortage there. So different experiments, different researches can be conducted. Then, adaptation to global emergency. Everybody should know that this is the era where global emergency is going on, and the global climatic change has reached an alarming level. So, we should get adapted to this scene, and we should move or proceed accordingly to this change. Preserving the ecosystems and species, the varieties of trees, the varieties of plants and animals which are around you, we need to preserve them. And how can we do that? We should keep their natural habitat in its original form. And expansion of knowledge. Obviously, your knowledge, it gets expanded. You come to know about the current issues, and you come to know about the handling of the current issues. You can inculcate this thing among your coming generation and among your children, and obviously you can spread this thing to others for the safe future of the globe, for the safe future of the generation. Now, hope so. You learned from today's webinar, and I'm going to learn a lot. If you are going to put up questions with me, if you are going to ask questions, then obviously it is going to increase my learning as well. And I find IGP to be one of the very best international platforms where learning can be encouraged, both for on part of the viewers and on part of the speaker as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP Knowledge Seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation.
Thank
Now,
you.
ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, after your wonderful presentation, I think our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no
Okay,
questions
thank
from
you.
our participants. So once again, thank you so
Fine.
much ma'am, for your time in IGP.
No problem.
We have learned
Thank
a
you.
lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Bitu. Okay, Allah Hafiz. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Goodbye. May I leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
IGP knowledge seeker is time for the webinar certification. This is the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP knowledge seeker is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Today are some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Today are some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Go to www.slido.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR code for direct joining. Quiz code is Global IGP. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is global IGP. With 26 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is, what signification is this event in the global perspective is which level of questions? Option 1, 2, option 2, 3. Option 2 is the right answer and 40% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Pune is holding the first position. Our second question is, what signification importance is the loss of shakers in the global perspective? Option 1, level 1, option 2, level 3. Option 2 is the right answer and 50% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Cadbury is holding the first position. Our third question is, which of the following has significant global comedies ground on planetation by slab in the during period 40,050 to 7,050? Option 1, grains like wheat and barley. Option 2, sugar and tobacco cash crops. Option 2 is the right answer and 42% people are right here. In the leaderboard, PRL is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, what is the signification of this picture in a global sense? Option 1, globalized waste against monastic lifestyle. Option 2, shows separate of issues and information though media. Option 2 is the right answer and 50% people are right here. In the leaderboard, PRL is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, after 700, which of the following did not aid in the significant growth of global population? Option 1, improvement in medical care. Option 2, expansion of land under cultivation. Option 1 is the right answer and 26% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Maria is holding the first position. Our sixth question is, what is the significance of the internet in globalization? Option 1, it has no impact on globalization. Option 2, it operates globally and facilitates communication and expansion. Option 2 is the right answer and 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Evelyn is holding the first position. Our seventh question is, one of the most significant factor in globalization is option 1, the protection of worker rights. Option 2, improvements in transportation. Option 2 is the right answer and 32% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Evelyn is holding the first position. Our eighth question is, almost all scientists working in the field of climatology believe that globally warming is just fake news. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 2 is the right answer. 95% people are right here in the leaderboard. Civilian is holding the first position. Our ninth question is one of the most scientific factor in globalization is option 1 the production of worker rights, option 2 development of trade barriers. Option 2 is the right answer and 64% people are right here in the leaderboard. Civilian is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the evening session is one of the most significant factor in globalization is option 1 a protection of worker rights, option 2 improvement in transportation. Option 2 is the right answer. 75% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slide will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slide will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slide will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill, never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I just say or hit the end like button, again wants to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.